Do you hear the fan? A fan is on. Just wanted to make sure that it's not getting caught by the mic. Do you hear it? Is it bothering you? Um, Hello, everybody. BTS 7 plus 1, Evie, Lindsay, Carol, Carla Girl, Cyan, Jelma, Carol, Leah, Angel Star, A Brown, JJ, Darren, Z, Joe, Joe, Leah, and Salma. Hi, Marie, MJDCP, Lucy in the Sky, Diane, Dawn Marie, Beth Davidson, Pinayonse, Fire Butterfly is on Twitch, OSP, Lucy, Gemini, BTS 7 plus 1, BTS Paved the Way, Fire Butterfly, I am Claudia, Fire Butterfly, Gemini, Lucy in the Sky, Darren Kez, Christy, Juveline, Halina, Luz, Kemuning, hi Kemuning, C Not, Lisa Parker, Brisa, Cest 104, EG, A Brown, Consuelo, Vi Hart, Mary Gum, Donna, Jen. Okay, that's everybody. Rachel, hi. Do you hear the fan? Does it bother you? I didn't care much about the documentary. I care less now. Hi, Sinri. The fan doesn't bother you. Okay, making sure I'm not muted. Does it bother you, the fan? If it bothers you, I'll switch it off. Hi, hi. I want to make sure that the fan doesn't bother you first. So let me know. It's kind of starting to get hot in LA. Um, I am gonna get my hair cut. So as you know, I donate my hair, so I let it grow long, very very long. It's up to my waist now, and then I'm gonna cut it really short so that I could donate the rest. It has to be at least 5 inches. If you donate your hair, it has to be at least 5 inches. Okay, perfect. You don't hear it. Okay, it's kind of a little far from me. I bought one of those like the square fan, so that it blows the air from the outside inside my room, so that it doesn't get hot. Well, it is still hot, but at least I can't hear it. Okay, perfect. Thea, hello Thea. Evie is also on Twitch. Says locks of love. Yeah, I send it to Pantene first because I do dye my hair. I don't bleach it. So if you bleach your hair, you can't donate anymore at all forever. You bleach it once, that's it. So I've never bleached my hair. I do color it though, touch up because I do have white hair, and so I would color it, but it's with no ammonia, all of those things like, and it's not bleaching. It's just really coloring. So Pantene would clean it first, and then they are the ones that will send it to Locks of Love. How short will I cut it? I'm not really sure. I kind of want some layers because it's been, yeah. I only get to style my hair during the time when I'm cutting it short because I donated. So I usually take advantage of that short period when I will cut it. So I don't know. I usually just sit down and then I let my stylist do her thing. Like, do whatever you want. Surprise me. So let's see. Maybe super short, like really, really short. Maybe a bob. I don't know. My mom wants it really short. Okay. What if you've grown out the bleached part? You still can't donate. Yeah, you can't. Once you bleach it, that's it. You can't donate it anymore. I guess something happens to your scalp or something, maybe. I don't know, but that's what the rule says. Like if you bleach it, you can't donate anymore. So that is primarily why I don't really touch my hair when it comes to, and I'm very picky to the as to what kind of brand I'm going to use to color my hair because I need to. It's kind of a promise, not kind of, but it is a promise I made after my daughter, my niece, whom I sometimes call my daughter, when she got leukemia. So one of the like the promises I made is that if she gets better, um, I will donate my hair forever because they lose their hair when they go through chemo, right? So I said, okay, that's a small thing I can do. Not much. It's really not much. I should be doing more, but for now, yeah. I think thank you. I've had a really I think I've only had like one time when it was really short, like like really short, like a boycott. But I was very young then. I don't know what I'm gonna do now, but you did not know that. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So when which was, and it's a good thing that I did never bleach my hair because it was, then I won't be able to do my end of the bargain. So yeah, so it's just gonna stay black forever, I guess, because I won't ever do anything with it. Um, I at some point I kind of wanted to do some highlights or whatever, but then the stylist told me, "Oh, that's bleaching. If you want some highlights, we're gonna have to bleach it." And I'm like, "No, no, thank you." I got more than what I asked for. I wanted more years for my niece, and she's still good and healthy and alive. So I have absolutely no problem leaving my hair alone, so I can donate it forever. Okay, that does anyone know if international fans can donate? Yes, you can. Um, so there's an army account that's actually pulling together all the pulling together the donations, and I will paste it in a bit. But yeah, so I was gonna do it, but then that account's already doing it. I don't see the point why we would have to like double the effort when somebody's already doing it. Just support that person. You can't permit either. Yes, you can't. You can't use a hair color with ammonia. So if you're gonna color, which is what I do, I color my hair black just to it has to be with no ammonia and it has to be organic. They're very picky. So um okay, I have curly hair now, my braids. Okay, before we start, let's just it's getting out of hand. So several days ago, well, almost a week ago, we know that there's this whole issue about um Jim. I was not going to mention their name, but it's kind of like useless because everyone knows already. Someone took a picture of Jimin and Jungkook leaving Korea, and so there's this whole issue about it because there's fan wars going on between the shippers, and I really don't care about that. I just wanted to give them like the privacy that they deserve. I'm sure, I don't know if they're working. It seems that they are working. They're probably gonna do some, I don't know what they're doing. And it's none of our business, quite honestly. So at that point, it was like, for me, it's like, okay, you got them on the airport. Okay, just leave it alone. Let's not distribute the picture. But now it's getting out of hand because I think people are following them really because they've been photographed in one country, went to another place, and then in that country they've been photographed and recorded different times. Their voices were recorded. They were having a conversation, and their voices were recorded. Their conversation. It was a short conversation. Um, Actually, it wasn't, but someone recorded them, and then they released it. They released videos, and they moved to another country, and they were getting followed. So it's just getting really out of hand. So, can you please, when you see anybody distributing those videos and those photos and those recordings, can you please report the account? It is unacceptable. It's The two are having a private time. At the moment, it is private. Maybe it's going to be for work. Maybe they're going to release it, something, whatever. I don't know. but it doesn't change the fact that at this very moment it is private, and it's just alarming because it's not safe. What they are doing is not safe. Okay, so I understand armies that would want to see, like, for J-Hope, for example, when he was here, I saw him. I've mentioned that to you. I never mentioned that I saw him because you guys know kind of my vicinity. If I say that I see him somewhere here, then you would know where to kind of wait for him. So I never mentioned it. But I understand armies that after when he went home, when he was already in Korea, they started researching where he actually stayed, and it's an Airbnb. It's an expensive one, like the monthly thing that you have to pay for. Well, you have to pay for it for at least you have to stay in there for 30 days. You have to pay for the house for 30 days at least. I understand that. And good for the business owner because that means they're going to earn money, right? From the rentals, because a lot of armies would want to stay there. I understand armies that want to see where he went to have dinner and whatever. I understand those things. But wait for them to leave the place before you actually publish all of these things. And before, if you see them walking in the street, having whatever, wait for them to leave before you tell people that you saw them. Preferably, wait for them to release the material before you tell them that you saw them in this place or whatever, because this is just so alarming. It is not safe. It's almost real time. They'll be in one place and people are just going to start taking pictures of them. My gut feel is that some people would actually have connections in one country and they get followed, but it doesn't even matter. It's just not acceptable. So please, if you see any of their pictures, videos, or whatever, my gosh, it's so out of hand. It's so out of hand. Let's give them the space. I'm sure that they also need this time to sort of decompress from everything. They're going to come back. They made a promise they will come back. Let's just wait. Okay. Um all right. So let's not speculate where they are anymore. Let's not we should it shouldn't be in any of our business. It's just it's creepy, quite honestly. It's creepy how they're getting followed. Like it's just if they're from in one country, they get seen in the airport. Like it's just unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. So let's not even speculate or talk about where they are right now. If they decide to publish something, if they post something on their social media, then we consume that. But until then, let's just leave them alone for now. So, okay. So it's just the thing is that I understand people taking a photo or a video. This my honest, I understand that. Like if you want to take a video of them walking and whatever, but distributing it is another thing. Taking a video of them is already a violation of their right. Okay, in the US and most of Europe, if you are in a public place, there is no concept of privacy. You are in a public place, then it's free for all basically. I understand that. That's why I said when people see them on the street or in a restaurant or whatever, people take a recording of them, or I understand, but keep it to yourself. Don't distribute that to anybody. If you saw them in a specific place, at least wait for the material to get released before you actually tell people that you saw them, right? Before you show people that you took a picture or took a video. Just give them the space. My gosh, these two are getting hounded and followed and just okay. Fairlane, do you think these are real armies? Depending on how you're going to define armies, right? A lot of people are going to say that no, if you treat members less than, if you don't honor the rights of the members, then you're not an army. Then in that case, they aren't an army. But I believe that the first time they were spotted in the first country that they were in, not Japan, but the first time they were spotted in that country, someone the person who took a video of them did not even know. They weren't a big fan. They just knew that they were a BTS member, that they were BTS members, but they weren't a big fan. So, and that's actually why the person released the video, because that person didn't think it was a big deal, because they're not deep into K-pop. They just know BTS because they're popular. And so he was taking like, okay, you're in the same place as I am. I'll take a video of you. Um, and then but I think the succeeding ones, when they move to another country and then move to another country again, this is just the person. Yeah, so these people they said that they are armies, so they identify as armies. They say that they are armies. So um it's disappointing, and it's really sad. Like, the two are trying to have as of this moment, it's a private time, so leave them be, whatever it is that they are. It's just allow them to have time to decompress, and it's just so upsetting to see them like walking around, and you video, and then you record their voices. It's just, oh my gosh, that's what kind of a human being are you to record someone's private time? If you can do that, if you can't honor a simple right, a basic right, then as something as basic as that, what else can people expect of you when it's something bigger, right? It's just so indecent. Is unacceptable. So please, when you see any video, any photo recording of them, just report the account. It should not be distributed. If you take a video of them, record them, keep that to yourself. Make it a souvenir that you will take to your grave. My gosh, it's too much. It's way too much. Too much. It's just one picture, two pictures, maybe, but this is just, oh my god, every action every location they're in, you know. Okay, upsetting. All right. Let's talk about something lighter. It's just really upsetting whenever I see anything like that. I don't think I have ever reported so many accounts in 1 hour in it today. It's just so okay. If it's a violation, why do people keep on doing it? Because they're not decent human beings. In legally, especially in the US, if you are in in a public place, there is no concept of privacy. People can take a video of you, people can record you, because you're in a public place. You know, that's just the legality of it. Legally, it's not a violation. But um but still, you shouldn't do that, unless it's a minor, by the way. But you shouldn't. That just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? This just because you can doesn't mean you should. You should at least honor people's rights. If I see anybody taking a picture, if I see someone that even if it's an old friend, I still ask for their permission if I can take their picture. I don't just snap their picture. So why is it any different when it is BTS, right? um okay. All right. So I saw I saw someone reposting old pics of Jimin. Well, that those pics that he himself posted. So that's okay. Big Hit just posted the Army in Cinemas announcement on IG. I know. So okay, we'll talk about that later. Slippery slopes. If you tolerate some photos, more pics will be posted for clicks and giggles. Exactly. Okay. In If your actions hurt our guys in any way, that's not an army. And post, okay. Fairy Lane, what do you think of the recent Newjeans drama? The dismissal of their appeal is final and they missed the appeal deadline. What are your thoughts? I will talk about that. Let's do news and updates first, just to change the mood a little. Okay. Because I that those photos really upset me. It's just way too much. Okay. So Jin's tour is about to start. Everything is prepared. Someone snap a picture of the setup. It's going to be an exterior, an outdoor venue, as you know. There's a whole drama around it, but it's going to be outdoors, and everyone was actually advised to wear comfortable shoes and also comfortable like clothing. So everyone is excited. I am excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. And yeah, it's going to be in 2 days. So let's see what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that he prepared something fun. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be your traditional concert where he's just going to be singing and dancing and then doing some ment. I'm sure it's going to be very, very interactive. And the sheer thought of them asking people, telling people that they will be given a poncho regardless of the weather, already gives you an idea on what he's planning to do. So I'm very excited for those who actually got a ticket in Seoul. If anybody's flying in or is staying in Korea for this concert, congratulations, you're going to have fun. So it's all supported. There are still some tickets left, by the way. Good thing I remember. There's still some tickets left in Europe, some in other states as well. But there are two armies and two members of our and there are members of our Patreon community who actually have a suite. They still have some spaces in their suite. So if you are interested in Dallas, this is Dallas. One of them is 722 on the 22nd. They have a suite, and so if you are interested, I think the ticket is like 295 or something like that. If you are interested, let me know. Message me on Twitter or IG or on Patreon. Someone has still has some seats in their suite, so let me know. There are two suites actually. Two people got some suites, so let me know if you are interested, because it's great to see the experience of seeing J Hope from up above. It was different. So it's you're going to have fun to have for you to see like a full view of the set, everything that's happening, even the audience. It's a different kind of experience. So usually I not usually, but from now on, what I'm going to be doing is that if there are multiple dates, I will get a suite day one or day two, and then the other day I'll do like a floor if I can get one, or lower box or something like that. Okay, very, very excited for Jin. So that is how the set looks like right now, but of course that's going to change. I'm sure they're not done with the setup. Okay, next, there is a fan chant for those that are going to attend the concert. You might as well start rehearsing. So they published the fan chants for different songs. So go get a copy and start practicing it. Also, start practicing Super Tuna choreography. I'm pretty sure that he is going to ask people to dance to that. Or maybe we should just dance to it, even if he asks us to not do it. Okay. All right. Okay, J-Hope's Killin' It Girl debuted at number 30 on the UK official singles chart. This is like the Billboard of UK, and it's the highest it is his highest entry on the chart, and he's also now the K-pop soloist with the most hits on UK official chart history with 8. He's really breaking records with this song, and he is promoting it really, really hard. And also for the first time, Glorilla actually posted something about it. So good. Finally got some support from her. But let's keep on supporting J Hope. I hope that we can keep the pace. Let's continue streaming so that we can keep it for multiple weeks inside Billboard Hot 100, and not just one week. Okay, so let's keep on pushing. Let's just continue putting it in your playlist and playing it so that he will have multiple days inside Billboard Hot 100. Okay, but this is big. I mean, he has hardly promoted in the UK, and for him to actually get inside Billboard, UK official singles chart, this is big. This is big, and it's going to be good for his Lollapalooza performance. Now, just to give you a bigger idea, like a bigger view of things, so he has the most entries by a Korean soloist in history on the UK's official singles chart. Next to him is Jungkook, Jenny and Rose, 7 each. And then this is regardless of the numbers, okay? Jimin and Lisa, 6 each. And then Lisa with 5, Jin with 4, and then 3 each for Suga, Psy, RM, and V. And then 1 each for Jisoo, Taeyang, Loco, Gecko, Zico, Yoon Mirai, Eugene, and Park Hyoshin. So I hope that we can get more for everyone, for all the members of BTS, but especially those that are, ranking that have less songs in there, um There is a guide link for Jin fan chant. Yes, I'll post it. I'll get the link in a bit and I'll post it so that we can all start practicing. Um, Such a difference between her and Megan. She promoted butter and never play heavy. I know. She did. And in all fairness to her, she promoted heavy and she supported the boys. So grateful to her for that. But well, at least we got something now from Glorilla. So what else can you ask for? Okay, next is, let's get this out. All right, next, with this, BTS becomes the only K-pop group or Korean act with all of its members charting in both USA and UK main singles chart. So that is official charts for UK official charts and Hot 100. So they're the only group in from Asia actually where each member managed to land an entry inside the main singles chart. Isn't that impressive? Okay, congratulations to BTS. Okay. Nigma Price is asking, are you still going to wear your platforms on Jin's concert? Yes. I won't be walking in them. I won't be walking in them. I'll bring them inside just as so there I can actually see him because I'm so small and not exactly like up in front. So I need some height so I can actually see something. But yes, I will bring it. I won't be walking on them. All right. Okay. Next, IGIN has a promo, just in case you're still in Korea or if you know anybody in Korea. It's available for a limited time in GS25. And they are calling Jin their owner and CEO, their global ambassador. And you can get some free gifts. This is actually the free gift if you buy if you buy here. So this is their promo. If you purchase a ticket to Jin's Run Sokjin EP tour in Japan, live viewing in Asia or GSC and Autumn Theater, tickets are on sale now. So you can get this. So there's a special like photo card. So all you need to do is purchase a ticket to the Japan live viewing in Asia, and you will be able to get this. So good luck to everybody. I hope you get it. And I'm sure that everyone already saw these pictures, but it's just lovely to actually look at our Suga with kids. I think he's going to be a great parent. But for now, he's not a parent. He's a parent to the three matinés, I guess. But this is him in action, quote unquote, with the kids doing his thing. So he's teaching them guitar, instrument singing, basically. And this is how he spent his weekends, I guess, since like the last quarter of last year, developing programs with the hospital in order to improve their communication and social skills using music. So um, it's I actually enjoyed looking at the pictures and I feel no guilt because it was actually published by the hospital. So this is something official. Okay, nobody sneaking in, nobody recording him without his permission. This was released by the hospital, and so I'm gonna assume that this was approved by him, that he gave it a go, and we can enjoy all of these pictures just for as long as we want, for as much as we want. Okay, so I saw some post the other day saying that Jin opened a bar. Is that right? This is one of those things that is, as of yet, none of our business. So let's not talk about that yet until he actually publicize it. So let's leave him be for now. Okay, J Hope is going to have it will be live streaming his performance in Lollapalooza July 13th and July 14th. Unfortunately, I actually won't be making it to Europe, so I can't I can't go see him. I can't, there's just way too much work. There's really a lot of things happening in the office. I can't leave. So I can't make it to Europe. I will actually try to get a ticket for Jin, not talking about Jin. I'm shifting between him and Jin. So I actually the main reason I decided to go to New York to watch Jin was because I thought I was going to be in Europe when he comes to California. But since I'm going to be in California, I'm going to try and see if I can get a ticket in California as well. Okay, so Lollapalooza, it's going to be live streamed. I don't know yet the details of the tickets. Someone is researching for me, and he will find out once he finds out. Then I will let you all know. So, but it's at least we know it's live streamed, and there is a chance for us to be able to see it. So, okay, this is going to be in Germany, July 13th and 14th. Okay. I can buy gin ramen and soju in city. How can we stream Hobie Palooza? I just asked a friend to sort of research where we can buy the tickets for the live streaming, or if it is free or anything. And once he knows, then I will let you guys know. Okay. I think at least J Hope and Jimin will attend Jin concert. Well, let's hope. Let's hope all of them does, right? All of them do. Okay, so good. And it's going to be an hour and a half. His set is not a set, it's like a mini concert already. An hour and a half. I was actually joking on Patreon that this is actually his official concert, and Lollapalooza just slapped their name on it. Because my gosh, an hour and a half. Usually it's about 90, like an hour at most if you're a headliner, but this one is an hour and a half. If he decides to do an encore, then he'll probably do 2 hours. That's a concert already. So imagine that. Well, that's J-Hope for you. Like, he won't shortchange you for anything. And this was taken from RM's IG. Again, this is official. He released this. This was taken in Switzerland. He's having a good time. So isn't I just feel so happy seeing his smile, because compare that compare this face to his face on the day of his discharge. There's like a mile difference. He looks so relaxed, so happy, and I think he's getting back into his groove. I think this break that they're having, this lull before they actually start doing their group activities, I think this is good, because they seem are all of them, they seem to be like really recharging themselves, decompressing. And I think they're going to be super happy and super into it when they do decide to start coming together as a group. So they look really good, they look really relaxed, and the only thing that will make it better is if people actually learn to respect their privacy. If we can just leave them alone, it'll be perfect, right? Let's just leave them alone. Wait until they are ready to release whatever it is that they are preparing for us. Okay. Yes, Junie is back in his element. And I was really happy. I haven't actually finished watching. I haven't even started watching his talk, the art talk that he delivered. But I think I this weekend I'm going to do that. I will also be watching the vampire killer, the K-pop demon hunter, the demon hunter, K-pop demon hunter. But I think that because he really loves art, I think that sort of helped him go back into like come back into his groove basically. So I will watch the talk this weekend. Okay. All right. I was gonna say like maybe I love shit. I'll stop saying that I will live stream and just do it, right? Okay, you guys wanted me to do some digging on the statistic, the numbers, the chart numbers of different girl groups. So this is it. So this is just Spotify streams. Okay, just Spotify streams, nothing else. All right. So there are surprising things about this. So Blackpink still has the most number of streams with 14 billion. And their daily streams is 4.4 million. But what's surprising is the daily streams, they are actually, Les Seraphim is actually outstreaming them on a daily basis. So Les Seraphim is 4.5. And I've been 4.5 million daily streams. And I've been watching them for quite a while. Les Seraphim has been leading on the daily streams for a while now. So Blackpink, 14.8 billion, almost 4.9. They're going to hit 15 billion really, really soon. They are followed by Twice with 10 billion streams on Spotify total. And the daily streams of Twice isn't far behind, is 4.3. So this will make them the third most streamed on a daily basis, next to the Seraphim and Blackpink. And then Newjeans has 6.3, almost 6.4 billion streams on Spotify, but their daily has been consistently dropping. It has been steadily dropping in the last year. They are now down to 3.7 million daily streams. They used to have like six, I think, or even five or six, almost 6 million daily streams, and it just consistently dropped in the last year, unfortunately. Next is, so the fourth is Le Seraphim with 4.3 billion streams, and their daily streams 4.5 million. So as I've said, they have the highest streams in on a daily streams, highest daily streams among K-pop girl groups. Now aespa has 4.1 billion streams, and their daily is 3.38. And then IVE has 2.8 billion. This is global. Okay, this is global. 2.8 billion. And then their daily streams way lower at 1.6. After them, well, not this is not chronological anymore. So up until Le Seraphim, that's like in order, but then below is just whatever I can think of. So Baby Monsters has 1.38 billion streams, and their daily stream is 2 million. And then Isle It has 1.1 billion, and their daily stream is 1.7 million. Idol, they rebranded from G Idol to Idol. They have 4.1 or 4.12 to be more exact. 4.12 billion streams, and their daily streams 1.7 million. And then ITZY has 3 billion streams. Their daily streams is 1.4 million. And then NMIX has 1 billion streams, but their daily streams is 596,000. So if Le Seraphim keeps this up, they just need to continue getting more streams daily, and then they can go to the third place, fourth, second place, and then first place. But Blackpink is making a comeback very soon. They said that, I think they made an announcement, or their company made an announcement, YG, that the single that they recorded will be released on concert day. So I don't know what happened. I thought that they shot their, at least that's what I've been hearing from Blinks, that they actually shot their music video. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't just release it ahead, so that at least people would know what to sing to during the concert. But maybe there's a grand plan behind it. But congratulations to Le Seraphim. They're getting the most number of daily streams. But congratulations to Blackpink. They still are number one in terms of the most number of streams in total. Okay. I can't believe NJ is even that high. Let's go, Le Seraphim and Ali. Yeah, they used to get a lot. Like they were getting that 3.7 daily streams. That's way low. Way low. That's like half of what they used to get. Not half, but almost. They've been steadily decreasing in the daily streams. Um, but yeah, and then some of the ones that surprised me was actually IVE, because I thought they were gonna get more, because they generate a lot of like publicity in Korea, right? But I guess I don't know. It's just, so I was really surprised that they were just getting 1.6. And then yeah, this also I feel a little, the NMIX is not doing bad at all. 1 billion streams for such a young career. They are, I think, 2.5 years old, maybe almost as old as I think. So this is really low considering they're really good. So I hope that they actually get their, I hope that they get their numbers up. But of course, you also have to look at the number of tracks. Like Twice has 297 songs. This includes remixes, all of that. So 297 songs. And then next to them is Idol with 109 songs, and that includes remixes. It's just that they constantly release songs, and they're not very big on remixes. Idol, I'm talking about Idol. So a lot of this 109 songs are actually original, like unique songs. And then after that would be 98, and that is Le Seraphim, but that includes remixes. And they do release a lot of songs in Japan. So that's I saw BP's recent album, Shaking My Head. Their fans are being ripped off. Melon is still the most used streaming platform in Korea. Okay, so is going to do a J-Hope move by releasing music during the tour? Probably, probably. But I thought, because they're gonna do a tour, right? So I thought they were going to release an album, because if you're gonna do a tour, you're supposed to be singing new songs. I mean, they, they're going to be singing the same songs. Well, no. So they do have, each member actually released a lot solo, so maybe that's what they're going to be doing. There's a huge chunk of the concert where it's going to be solo performances, which might be good, because some members of Blackpink don't have a lot of stamina, and so having others do their solo set will allow the other members to rest. Maybe they can have more energy for the group performances. So maybe it's going to be bookends. So in the beginning, there's all groups, and then individual performances, and then, or maybe groups, two individual performances, and then groups, and then group again, and then two individual performances, and then group again. Maybe I'm speculating. Okay. um Fire Butterfly. Okay, BP will be singing all their solo songs. Yeah, that's what I heard. um Okay, so upcoming events, they're going to be starting their tour in July, and I think they end October or something like that. They might add some more dates, who knows? But it's going to start soon, and I think they're actually starting to rehearse. And then aespa is releasing their new single. Maybe I can put it up. Maybe it's called Dirty Work. It's going to be on the 27th. So wait for it. I do like the visuals, because this is they're kind of veering away from their original concept of AI, metaverse and stuff like that. And they're coming a little bit too close to like the concept of like Blackpink, where, well, not really, more like, I guess, a mixture of Blackpink and Dreamcatcher. So let's see what's gonna happen. But yeah, on the 27th. But the teasers are already out, so I like them. I like this group actually, so I hope that you watch them as well. Their tour is a giant cash grab. The merch is so expensive and cheap looking. I think I don't think it is a I don't think it's a mystery. I don't think it is a secret that this is really a like an effort to try and squeeze the IP as much as they can. I think they know that they have limited time with the girls. And in all fairness to the girls, they have shown their like tenacity to pursue to pursue individual careers. And I think also they probably feel that it is better for them to do individual careers and just come together every now and then. So I think this concert, I don't think even Yang Yun Sok will deny this, that this is really an effort to try and get as much cash as they can, liquidate that IP as much as they can before the girls actually go on full blast on their solo careers. I think what happened was this 2 years or 3 years that they've been on a lull, on a hiatus, they really tried to see an experiment with what they can do and what they like doing. And I think the girls have, I think, except for Jisoo, I think the three have really found the West, to be more appealing for them. So I think that's where they're going to be concentrating on. And I'm not dissing them, by the way. I'm just laying out what I think their plan is. So yeah, I think this is Yang Yan Suk's effort to liquidate that IP as much as he can. And he needs the money, right? YG needs the money because they've been on the red, so I can't blame him for it. And if the fans still decide to watch them, that then okay, then good. I mean, at least they get something out of Blackpink before they go on an extended hiatus again to pursue individual activities. YG actually gets some more money, and the girls will be able to also get some liquid cash, that some cash from it, and sort of finance their companies. They all have companies. They set up their own companies, and I have discussed several times that one of the toughest things about running your own business is cash flow. So if you don't have a fixed income that comes in every month, it's going to drain you. So I think this is one opportunity for the girls to actually get something in the bank, some capital, so that they can finance their promotions when they do solo activities again. Okay, but that's just my analysis, and that is not a diss. I think given the objectives that they laid out for themselves, I think it's smart. Okay. Um, Okay, Bellatrix BP maybe do great solo, but only because were BP. The girls can be amazing, but they were made this value because of YG. They have a lot to thank to YG. That is, I think even the girls can't deny that. The branding of YG is just so on point. Plus, they benefit from keeping the BP brand alive. Yeah, correct. Yes. And then TXT will actually make a comeback on the 21st, July 21st. This is actually the first comeback of TXT that I will be able to watch closely. So I will try to go to their concert, and I'll be waiting for this release. So this is the first time I'll be really watching them closely. I've been passive in the past, but now I'm watching them closely. I know it's bad because it's like 5 years from their debut, right? But I do like them. My bias is Bomgyu. Okay, and then Twice is going to release their fourth full album. The title is Four because this is their fourth full album, and they're on their 10th year as a group, and then they're going to be starting their world tour as well. So I am looking forward to their world tour. Once they announce their North American date, then I will be there to watch. Okay. I think you already know that my bias is actually Gio, and then Sana, and then Jongyun, and then Momo. Okay. I think that's my is that my yeah, those are my news update. Oh, so there's KCon that's happening. I might go. I am trying to get press credentials to get some interviews going, but these are their performances. It's starting to become like Coachella, but for K-pop. Because they have different stages now. They have the X stage, M countdown stage. Let me see. Um, yeah. So they have M countdown stage, artist stage. They have different performers there. Meet and greet stage. Yeah. So they have a different performance. They have a different lineup daily on these different stages. So what are some of the biggest ones? So you have NCT 127, IVE is there, Zero Base 1, P1 Harmony, aespa is going to be on August 2, Jackson Wang, Monster X and Mix, August 2, on the same M Countdown stage. All Day Project is going to be day 3. Wasa is going to be there. Idol is going to be there. Kepler, Zero Base 1, Gravity. Okay, so let me know if you're going to be there. I will be there. I'm gonna bring my mom with me. Ive and Mix. Oh, I guess they're gonna do a meet and greet. Isna. Oh, I'm happy for them. I wish them well. All the Are You Next girls, I'm looking forward to. Yeah. So let me know if you guys are going to KCON. If you're gonna watch, let me know. So hello. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. I guess that would make I guess that would make NCT the biggest, huh? The biggest performer that they have. I guess that would make them the biggest performer in this, or Idol. I guess they're the biggest. They should be the like the headliner. Okay, other records is for individual brand reputation, no hype groups so far, none. So far, nothing announced so far. I also love Jackson Wang. He is a dear friend of our leader. So yeah, but he's also really good. He's good. He has his own brand of music, very strong branding and all. Now they released the individual brand reputation ranking for June 2025, and Jimin went on top. So this combines boys and girls, everybody combined. So he is number one with 6.9 million mentions, and then Jenny's number two at 6.3, and then G Dragon 5.5, Jungkook number four, Wonyoung number five. She's always been very strong in Korea. Rose at number six, Jin at number seven, V at number eight, Wunwo 3.7 million at number nine, Eugene of five 3.3, J Hope at 3.1, and Joy of Red Velvet at 2.7, number 12. Um, how do they figure this out? Okay, so there are different applications that crawls the web. They choose different websites that where they will be tracking the mentions of these members. So, for example, but it's not just the name, it can also be nicknames or trends that are being associated with a member, with a K-pop group. So, for example, let's just say J-Hope, right? So they're tracking J-Hope. They won't only track J-Hope, they will also be tracking Hosok. They will also be tracking Mona Lisa, Killin' It Girl, Sweet Dreams. They can track BTS J Hope. They can track J. They can track the best-selling art Korean artist, something like that. So every month they kind of determine, almost every week they determine what are the new terms that are being associated to a an idol, and then they will track the mentions of that. And then whoever ends up having the most mentions, their name and all associated keywords, then that's how they score. So okay, so 6.9, then yeah, then for example in this website there were 100,000 mentions of J-Hope or Killin' It Girl combined, then that's how they score it. And they add it together, then whoever ends up on top is, that's it, that's your score. Yeah, keyword and the name. So it's not just the brand, it's also in Google we call it the broad match. So it's not just the exact term, but also the broader term that are being associated with the act. I guess Hybe focuses their groups on Weverse Con. Maybe they're trying to compete with KCon. Maybe they are trying to do that, or maybe because the girls, the it's all about scheduling, right? One thing I know about Hybe is that they don't discriminate when it comes to building the brand and the name and getting experience for their groups. Like for example, up until recently, they made Les Seraphim perform in university festivals, and that serves different purposes. It brings the name of Les Seraphim to the regular masses, to the general public. So it's kind of some sort of a promotion because you're allowing these people to actually see the girls perform. That's number one. Second is that it actually hones their live performance skills. I don't know, I'm sure that you guys know this, but just because you have a natural talent for singing and for dancing, it doesn't make you automatically a good performer. There's a lot that goes into being on stage and actually owning the stage. And so Hybe is actually very good at that. Like in the beginning, if you would observe in the first 2 to 3 years, they would allow and actually require their groups to perform in different venues, festivals, TV shows. The promotions on different music shows would be longer, and that is because they want the girls or the boys to actually hone their talent. So I think, especially because it's KCON, it's an opportunity for them to kind of give the groups exposure for free, right? Because they weren't the ones who set it up, but then there's an international US audience right in front of them. So maybe I think it's more because they couldn't just get the schedule straight. but it's not yet final. They can still, it's September, right? So maybe it's still gonna happen, or August. So still have time. Okay. In the 80s, some artists toured malls. Yeah. And even like my favorite boy band in the Philippines, SB19, they were heavy in promoting in malls. That's how they hone their talent, their live singing, their live dancing, and also their relationship with the audience. Okay. Next, let's go back. Is that the end of it? Okay. Jimin dropped his Killing It Girl dance cover, and J Hope did not overreact at all. His reaction was so funny, but amazing. In less than 2 days, he actually got 56.6 views on his reel. So we can hear Jungkook's voice in the background. I guess he was the one who was recording. He kept on moving the camera, that guy. So I hope that you like his performance. If you haven't, go to his IG and go to the reel itself. Go to the reel itself, not just the post, but the reel itself. So, and then just watch it. It's really fun. And someone actually did a side by side. They put them, and they put them together, Jungkook and not Jungkook, Jimin and J-Hope side by side, and they were perfectly in sync. Just that's how good they are. They still are in sync. But Jimin, being Jimin, he actually give it his own flair, his own flavor in the dance. So it's still exactly as how J-Hope had it, but there's a Jimin touch in that choreography, and that's why it's so enigmatic. This is actually what started this. Well, no, this is not what started this whole mess with the shippers, but this contributed to that for sure. So I think one of the things that just upset me as well about that is how people are pressuring either of them, Jimin and Jungkook, to not be together in this trip. I'm like, what? That is none of your business. Anyway, okay, let's continue with the good vibes. Good vibes only. um, their Stray Kids is actually having a lot of problems with their tour. I believe that in the East Coast, the heat wave is still on, right? The heat wave is still on. And so they had to cancel before the encore. They canceled this. They stopped the concert, so they cut it short because of the heat wave. So fans were actually collapsing. Were really collapsing. They were like, break. It's just it was a whole mess because the members themselves actually had to stop the performance because they were worried about their fans. And it was really the group, the members themselves, who were actually asking the medic of the venue to attend to their fans because they were collapsing because of the heat. So I heard Bang Chan very, very loudly asking people to the staff, maybe their staff, maybe the staff of the venue, to distribute water for free. And he was like, I think someone said like it's $8 per bottle, which is absolutely insane. But we all know how much it costs. But I mean, in places like this, but he was like, charge it to my card. I don't freaking care. That I don't effing care. Just charge it to my card and give people water. And they did. They were able to give people water. And I don't know if they charged it to his card. Probably the company actually paid for it. But I wish everyone will stay safe. And he campaigned. Bang Chan is the leader of Stray Kids, and he campaigned for the venues to allow people to bring their water bottles for as long as it is sealed. It is allowed. So I hope that everyone will actually stay safe. It's just sad because we know how hard fans actually prepare for the concerts, right? We've been there. We prepare way in advance. I mean, I've already had, it's like I started preparing for Jin like 3 months in advance. So for this to happen, for the concert to be cut short, it's heartbreaking. But just want to commend Stray Kids for actually doing this. They wanted to finish the concert, but they didn't because people were just collapsing. So they prioritized their health and the health of their audience. But I hope that moving forward is going to be better for them. So the venues promise that they will allow water bottles to go inside. Okay, and then it's Woni's birthday, 18th birthday. She's now officially an adult in South Korea. She's my bias in I'll It. Okay, I think that is the end of my news update. Yeah. That is the end of my news update, and then we go to the next topic, which is the army documentary. But before that, do you have any question? Okay. Someone is asking what happened to Stray Kids concert is heartbreaking. The organizers should consider the weather condition when planning with an event. Feel bad for the fans. I well, they planned this, of course, obviously, like almost a year in advance. So I don't think they, I mean, I'm talking about Stray Kids and the company. I don't think they, or anybody for that matter, could have predicted that there was going to be this bad of a heat wave in the East Coast. But I just hope that they will do something about it. At least it's an open venue, it's open air. So it's an, so I hope they just really allow people to bring their own water. So they said that you cannot bring, you can bring, doesn't matter, there's no limit to the number of bottles you can bring, but it has to be plastic. They will not allow like those water bottles that we have, so it has to be plastic, so that will just better than not having anything, right? Okay. um Bangchan, I'm so proud of Bangchan, and Wrigley is setting the new standard by giving away water bottles for free. They should. I mean, it's a heat wave, right? And people are there to have a good time. They should do that. So yeah, I'm very proud of Stray Kids. I consider myself a stay. The reason I did not buy any tickets for the US leg was that I thought I was gonna be able to watch them in Europe, but oh well. Okay. There was no shade in the parking lot of City Field. The venue should have known when they got the weather warning. True. This I absolutely agree with. The venue should have already taken precautions when they learned about the heat wave. And it's going to last, I think, like up for 2 more weeks. So almost the entire North American leg of their tour, there's going to be a heat wave. So, Okay. Um, yes, please like the video. Where's my where is my crawler? Ah, oh there. Like the video. Okay. Let's got that. Let's go back to the chat. And then let's go to the documentary. So, one of the things that I remember my father told me is to never get in the way between the man and his meal. So I'm very, very careful when it is about when you when it is about somebody's living. And I don't know the people who created this. I certainly don't know um the background, their story. I know that there are multiple people that are involved in this. It's not just one person. So I'm taking that into consideration. So I'm going to be very, very careful in what I say, but I will be also straightforward and just honest that no, I'm not going to support the group, this movie. I'm not encouraging anybody to copy my decision. Everyone, you can process things all by yourself just fine. So you can do your own research, but this is just me responding to questions on whether or not I will support the movie. Okay, so the answer is no, I won't. I know that Big Hit started posting about it, and they certainly did allow the use for a fee. They allowed the use of the songs of BTS. Of course, it had to be paid, but um, it doesn't matter. I've always said that just because I like BTS and that they are under Big Hit doesn't mean that I agree with all the decisions that they make, right? And this is one of those decisions that I don't agree with, and that is stemming from one person actually. So one of the members, at least one that I know of, that is the extent of my research. So there's one of the two people that led the creation of this one also led they pressured armies and BTS to make a stand on this conflict between Israel and Palestine. So the connection was made because of this account. So this account is known for doing reviews on BTS songs, BTS albums, music videos, and other stuff. They've actually also released a video. So as far as my understanding is, there's more than one person involved in this account. Um, and then so there's this is just not one person. Several people are actually behind this account, so just make that clear. Now, one of the people behind this account is also behind the pressure that not okay. So one of the people at least that's involved in this account was very active. No, sorry, I'm trying to be as careful as I can. Okay, this account, that's it. This account is very active in pressuring BTS to make a stand on the Palestine Israel conflict. Okay. And I have always respected people's ability or rights, not ability, but right to actually express their belief. That is fine. And that is one of the reasons a lot of people like living in America, because you're free to express your belief and say whatever it is that you want. Of course, there are boundaries, but for the most part, unless you're inciting rebellion or violence against somebody, you're just free to say whatever it is that you want. And I certainly enjoy that. I certainly enjoy that part of living in the US. Now, this specific account have continuously pressured BTS by doing hashtag campaigns, constantly posting on their social media, asking BTS to make a stand, and not just make a stand, but make a stand against Israel and say that they are supporting Palestine and that they are against Zionism and all of those stuff. Okay, so they're not just asking BTS to say something, they're asking BTS to say something specific, and that specific thing is something that they believe in. Okay, so they have also given armies guidelines on how to act and what to say and what to post on their social media. They have supported and boosted other accounts that are doing the same thing, that are pressuring BTS armies. And so these are all the things you see that they are actually reposting and adding their own captions in these posts. They were there in the protests in front of Hybe America, and as I've said, that is fine. Everyone has the right to protest in America for as long as you get your permit. You were allowed to do it, and it is peaceful. You can protest for as long as you like. You're not um, violating the rights of other people. You're not getting in the way of the life of other people. You can protest for as long as you want. And again, I appreciate that part of living in the US. Okay. And I don't want that to go away. Now, as I've said, I support freedom of speech. So I support that. I support that they are standing up for what they believe in, whatever that may be. At least they have some belief. Um, Now, oh yes, so another thing that they did was to encourage people to actually just pirate the content of BTS, because they said that if you want to continue enjoying the content of BTS, but don't support them, then you can just pirate them. Okay, which is something that I am very, very much against. Now, I'm not going to be holier than thou. I've mentioned this before. I, as much as possible, refrain from posting paid content of other artists. There are some exceptions, but if the content is not anymore available for purchase, then yeah, I will post it. Because especially if people want to see it and they don't know where to purchase it, then yeah, I could probably post it. um, I also make some exceptions if I specifically think that it's going to help the group in some way or another. So, like for example, a part of the concert of Lesser of Him, I actually posted on Patreon because I feel like it's going to help them be introduced to the fans of BTS, and maybe they'll end up liking Le Seraphim. So I make those exceptions. I'm not 100% holy and angelic. I'm not claiming to be, but I'm very specific about BTS because number one, we already know that there are other ways on how we can invite people into BTS. They're already providing a lot more, a lot of free content. So I don't need to pirate the content of the paid content just so I could invite more people to their fandom, to the fandom of Army, to the fandom of BTS, which is Army. Okay, so going back, so I definitely respect their belief and I respect their passion on what they believe in. And regardless of what that may be, I fully support freedom of speech. I may not agree with what you say, but I will stand by your right to say them. I do not agree with censoring people, um, even if it is offensive. Even for as long as it is not criminal, I don't mind people saying things that are offensive. When we are resolving things and discussing difficult issues, someone is going to get offended. That's a given, right? We've known that as human beings, as we have lived our lives. If it is a difficult issue, someone is going to get offended. So I'm not saying I don't hold people back from saying their piece for as long as it is not criminal. Meaning for as long as they're not saying, hey, let's hurt this person, or let's unalive this person. I'm going to be in this location. Let's all that is not freedom of speech. That's criminal. But other than that, if it is just simply offensive, then I feel people should still have the right to say them. Okay. Okay, just want to make it clear. The only way I know that freedom of speech is actually in place, that it's a functional right in a country, is when a person we don't like gets to say the things we don't want to hear. Again, within reason. You cannot incite violence, you cannot encourage people to do harm on other people. But so even if I don't like what they are saying, regardless of what it is that they are saying, I support it, because that is the only way I know freedom of speech is actually in place, and it's a functioning right in a country. Okay, so that is not the point. What they are saying is not the problem that I have. My problem is the way that they are, is their pressure, the pressure that they're putting on other people, not just on BTS but also on army. Freedom of speech includes the right to not exercise it. So I have the right not to talk. I have the right not to say my stance on specific issues. I have the right not to talk about anything I don't want to talk about. Even in legal proceedings, people are given the right to stay silent. So if the law, if the court itself, the Constitution itself allows us to not talk, no one else is above that. If I want to stay quiet, if I want to shut up, then you're going to respect that right, because I respect your right to talk. Okay. Um, Now, forcing people to speak, to me, is not an exercise of right. It is actually a violation of mine. So once you start pressuring people, BTS, armies, whoever that may be, to say something, and specifically say something that you want to hear, that is not an exercise of your freedom of speech. It is a violation of my right to not get involved, to live in peace, to stay quiet. I also have the right to be alone. BTS has the right to be left alone. They have the right to not be involved in anything that they don't want to get involved in, specifically because that is not their country. Their own country is still at war. This is they have a clear and present danger in their own country. So for people to expect them to look after their own country and also look at another country, I think that is just way too much. But that is not even the point. The point is that if they don't want to get involved and they don't want to talk, that should be respected. And also, never forget, if you are the one that's passionate about your belief, never forget you could be wrong. We have a lot of beliefs. We've believed in things for hundreds and hundreds of years only to be disproven after. I think the clearest example would be the rights of African Americans. For the longest time, people thought that Americans in the U.S. had the right to take them as slaves. Turned out to be wrong, right? And that belief went on for decades. If something like that can be disproven, then there's something like, so whatever it is that you believe in may also be disproven. So a lot of things that we thought we know about historical figures that ended up being wrong. Even science gets disproven. We believe in something for so long only for it to be disproven. Case in point, everyone for the longest time thought that the fastest route to point A to point B is through a straight line. And then some scientists or some physicists actually, or physician, whatever, physicists prove that no, it is not always a straight line. So if something we think is so exact can be disproven, so can you, who have limited knowledge about the things that are going in politics. So never ever forget that whatever it is that you believe in, you could be wrong. We could all be wrong. So you can encourage BTS or armies to speak up, but you shouldn't force them. And that was my main issue with them, with this account that one of them is involved with, that they were forcing, not encouraging BTS and armies to say something, and that something is something that they want to hear. Once, when BTS wasn't talking, when some armies refused to talk, they started name calling armies, they started name calling BTS, they started encouraging people to pirate the content of BTS, they started calling names, BTS names left and right. um, so, given all of that, after everything that they have done, why will then, let's just put that aside, let's put that my belief aside and just stick to what they believe in. They believe so passionately that they are right and that they are pressuring armies and BTS to actually be one with them. So BTS didn't speak out and many armies didn't speak out. So why are you then now making money out of them? Why are you making money out of people you despise? So I think there is nothing wrong with doing things for money. And I have said before in this channel, in Patreon, in YouTube, whatever, I've said before that I think creators whose main focus is BTS should earn money because it does require money and time. It's not free to build a channel, to create content. That's not free. You do exert some time and effort. But if BTS and armies are actually against the very core of your belief and you're still making money out of them, I think that speaks to your character more than anything else. And that is my problem. Like, you were so strong in your belief. You had a very, very strong resolve. And all that evaporated because you have a chance to make money. If BTS, but also if BTS decides to ever speak up on their political preference, if they do not align with yours, that is their right and that has to be respected. It, it like, don't expect them to be, don't expect them to just agree with what your belief, whatever your belief may be. If in the end it ends up that their belief is opposed to yours, that is their right because they do not demand that you agree with their belief. And so yeah, that is why I will not, um I'm not going to support it. I don't like being guilt tripped. I don't like being name called, and I don't like being pressured to say what you believe in, to affirm your belief. I also don't like that people who were encouraging theft on BTS's content, encouraging people to cancel BTS, um, should make money out of them. I think at the very least, stand by your belief. Maybe if you stand by your belief, I will actually, but it's just so blatantly disrespectful and very low for me. So that is, now I don't expect people to share my belief. Again, just like what I said in those slides, no one has the right to force anybody to believe in the same belief that I have. No one has the right to force people to do what we think is right. Right? People have the right to choose whatever it is that they want to do. So that's just where I stand. So no, I know that Big Hit already posted about it, and as I've said, I've disagreed with them before. This is one of those things that I disagree with them on. I've disagreed with BTS themselves. So we're different people. I don't. BTS members aren't my moral compass. They're not. They they have messages that resonate with me, but they don't always believe and agree with everything that they say. So, and that goes with BTS as well. So no, I won't be supporting them, but everyone has the right to their decision. So if you want to support them, great. But yeah. A lot of upsetting things happened this week with this and well, I'm not really upset. It's just that I'm more upset with the photos of the photos that are getting leaked and the videos that are getting leaked. This one is just like, oh well. It's kind of my reaction, like, okay. um, I think Big Hit is okay with the video. I don't know that they are okay with it being politicized. Did BTS make a comment? No, not yet. About what? About this? No, they haven't made a comment about this documentary. Um, and yeah, I haven't. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to your comment. I stopped the crawler. Let's see your questions. But this Big Hit, no. About what they did, I don't think they do. I mean, I I don't know. That is the answer. Actually, I don't know if they know. My speculation is that they don't know. That's my speculation. I don't know that for sure. Okay. What photos what photos are you and videos are getting leaked? Two members on a trip. They're going. Two members of BTS. Let's support Pirate with that movie. That's funny. Thanks for sharing the info on this. I actually didn't know about groups pressuring BTS politically. It has happened so many times before. They keep on getting roped in things that aren't their problem. I I have the thing is that I've actually kind of expressed my belief. I've been always been somewhere in the middle. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, and I do have friends that are Democrats. I have friends that are conservatives, and I get along with them fine. They're human beings. They're great people, kind, such great souls, and so I don't ever feel the need to judge people based on their political belief. It's just three members. Jessica said three members. So yeah, it's just I don't understand. Like, I know people can get passionate with what they believe. It doesn't mean that they're horrible people, that they won't be able to treat other human beings as human beings. There's this great people, both Democrats and conservatives. I have friends on both sides, and they're all great people. I promise, they're all great people. They're the most compassionate, loving, caring people that I know, honest people that I know. So I don't think your political belief actually dictates your character. It's just your political belief. So I do not understand people that are so gang ho about this. And I always use my own country as an example. We're also getting bombarded by China. Nobody cares. We're not asking people to defend us or to say something about against China and to defend us. So we all have our burdens to bear. We all have our crosses to carry. So if they don't want to speak out, that is, I perfectly understand. Like, BTS has their own problems in their own country. As I've said, they are still at war. It's a clear and present danger. It's not that thing that they signed is just a ceasefire. It's not a peace treaty. So okay. Someone asked where the moderates are online, and I said they don't speak up online much because both extreme attack them. Correct. Actually, the Patreon community is a perfect example. There's a lot of Democrats and a lot of conservatives in my Patreon, but because there's very few who actually speak up about their beliefs, everyone just live in harmony. Everyone just gets along. And I've always said this is a perfect example of how you can actually get along if you just don't care about politics, because there's a lot of conservatives, a lot of Democrats, and they get along fine. Some of them are even like really talking offline. So you cannot convince me that we cannot get along, because I see it every day. I experience it and I see it every day. Okay. um I support piracy. I just don't broadcast it. Okay, I just joined your live, so I missed that what you said earlier. May I know what documentary you are referring to? The documentary about armies. Yeah, I'm moderate, and that is largely true. Let's agree to disagree. Correct. Let's just agree to disagree. Thanks for welcoming. Okay, we just get along, loving our guys. Exactly. Yeah. See, like nobody's questioning, like nobody's like, oh, this person is, because they don't know. Right? So you just see people for who they are, for their character, and not for their political belief. So yeah, I will never buy into the propaganda that you can't get along unless you share the same belief. I will never. And I've seen someone who, so you know that in our Patreon community, a lot of people donate to other people, right? Like, I will pay for this, I will pay for that. And if you don't have money to pay for your trip, I'll pay for your trip, I'll pay for your tickets. There's a lot of donations happening in our Patreon community. And Democrats actually donate a lot to conservatives, and vice versa. A lot of conservatives donate to Democrats, so they don't care. Like, the conservatives won't say, like, okay, donate this only to the Democrats. No, they're just like, wow, she needs it, here I have something, go enjoy. So let's all live in harmony. So, and BTS should not be an exemption. They should also be allowed to just live their life in peace. They have their own problems to carry, and let's allow them to just concentrate in their country. They're still at war. Okay, that's the reason they are actually mandated to serve the military. um can you actually share the info about the director boycotting BTS with your friends at Hive? I will try to do that. But I also try to maintain that friendship, because we actually became friends before he started working with Hybe. So I try my very best to not mention anything, to ask him for anything in regards to BTS, because I don't want him to ever think that I remain friends with him just because he works with him. So I really try. Like, even when we meet, in the few times that we actually meet, I steer away from. We don't talk about BTS. So, but I'll think about what I can do. Okay. Um, but it's still, I donate to people, not their beliefs. Correct. Correct. There's like a lot. If you are, I is the only sad thing is, many of the people that are donating, they don't like their names being mentioned. They don't like being identified. And so, I can't thank them because they don't want to be mentioned. But there are a lot of people like donating left and right. Like, if somebody um mentions that, hey, I don't have the money, someone's going to always step forward and say, okay, I have something, maybe this will add to it. Or um don't lose your friend would not ever cross the line. Yeah, we've been able to. And I think he appreciates that. He appreciates that I consciously not mingle our friendship with his work with Ibe. The last time there was a concert, and I was in Korea at that time. um and he was in the venue, and he specifically asked me to bring a bread that he really misses, a bread from here in the US. He really missed it, and he said, can you bring me some? And so I was like, okay, I can bring you some. And then he the only time we were going to see each other was during the concert. And so he was able to bring me to the backstage, but only in a very specific place, not like walk around the backstage or whatever. And even during that time, so I handed him the bread that he wanted. He was very thankful. So we talked for about 5 minutes, and he was just talking about how tired he was and whatever. Um, we didn't talk about the artist that was having a concert, and I tried really my very best to steer clear of that, so that again, I don't want him to think that I remain his friend just because of that. Um, yeah. So let's see what I can do. I'll think about what I can do. Okay. Um, Three topics that should never be discussed: politics, religion, mothers. I can discuss my mom. I love my mom and all her idiosyncrasies and weird habits and all. The new documentary is being promoted or endorsed by Hype. I think they mentioned it, yeah, because they got licensed to use the music. So, has the documentary been released? Is it all negative? I don't. No, I think it's just about to be released. They are going to different festivals and all, and yeah, all my country at my country we said that talk about religion is like talk about our own mother, and politics is like talk about the father, so they are controversial. Fairlane, do we know for sure that it is the director of the documentary that is connected to the boycott? A journalist asked me for proof. Yes, so one of them, I don't know about the other one, but one of them is involved with that account. Yeah. So that her she that person behind the I think she's one of the directors of this movie. She's behind that account that I was showing you earlier. Kathy said yes, Fairlane, but my mom is better. I'll fight about one person, that is my mom. That is sweet. Yes, in my house you don't talk about religion or politics at the dinner table. Have a good show. Can I guess who your friend is in Hybe? Is it Sejin Yong? Son Sundok? Maybe a big one. He's just no. I wish. If it's Mr. Lee, I probably will ask for signatures for you guys because I know that there's a lot of legioners here. But it isn't Mr. Lee. It isn't Son Sundok. No. No, he doesn't. Definitely not in front of the camera ever. Well, probably he was. No, I don't think so. Okay. Do you have questions before we move on to the next topic? Mr. Lee. If it's Mr. Lee, I'll probably like, can we take a picture? Because I'm sure that my subscribers will be happy. But no, it's not Mr. Lee. I promise. If I ever get a chance, I'll take a picture of Mr. Lee. And then I on the spot, I will ask for his permission to post the picture so to give you guys some happiness. How's that? Wait. Um I'm going to leave and watch from the beginning because I want to understand what's going on. Have a good night, everyone. Okay, so let's go to Newjeans update. Okay, I miss Sejin too. Sejin is still he's still in not in BTS, but he's still in Hybe. He just doesn't work as closely with the high idols anymore. But I want to know your latest music finds outside of BTS. I will. So I'm just getting my life in order. And then I will start who knows, maybe this Friday I'll be able to go on live again. So I did promise everybody that I will do a third live every week, but it's going to be, or maybe every other week, but it's not BTS centered. Like it's more about you know, other artists, music, my work, other things. So I will do that. Maybe, who knows, maybe this Friday. So Newjeans Daniel attended the Omega event in Japan. And just want to make it clear that this was a brand deal that was inked by Hybe, by Adore, before this whole mess started. So this was still under Adore, but she did go to the event with a Hybe staff. So, which is very different from their attitude before the penalty was put in place. So this was sealed by Adore. And a lot of people like, what changed? Why are you now suddenly allowing yourself to go to an event or you go to events with Adore staff? And what happened is the fine, $750,000. If you would remember, the court said, you try to do anything without the involvement of Adore, and you're going to get fined. So that's $750,000. That's a huge amount. So I think they got paid 3.7 or 3.1 in 2023. So that's like a third of their not a third, a quarter of her payout for 2023. And I'm sure that or maybe she's investing it, but if she didn't invest it, then that's already like a quarter gone. I'm sure some of her money have already been spent. I don't know, has already been spent on something, but the bottom line is that it's a huge amount of money, right? So that's what changed. And this is, money can do a lot of magic. Money can move things, and one of the things that it can move is their brain and their frame of mind. So they kind of realize that, okay, the court can garnish my bank account, my money, and I better, do what the court is asking me to do. The other thing that could have happened is a breach of contract with Omega. So they do have a contract with Omega, and they signed that contract. Well, it was Hybe who signed in their behalf, but Hybe can certainly sue them for breach of contract. So that is what changed. So she attended the event, and she was with a Hybe staff this time. Okay, now they did not anymore did a follow up appeal. So they didn't appeal the last decision anymore. They did not appeal that. So it looks like they're just going to continue and start doing, I guess, fulfill their existing obligations under Hybe, and start doing business through Hybe now. So no more appeal. Now they're just waiting for the main case to finish, which might take even 2 to 3 years. All right. So one thing that is happening is that they are starting to get replaced by their brand partners. So Pepper, for example, already got Stray Kids as global brand ambassadors. So they're out of the picture. And as always, money speaks. So if you stop receiving the money that you're used to getting, it's going to change the way that you think. So that's one of the brands that replace them. And then also, there's this whole issue about Chanel. As you know, one of the members, Minji, was the newest brand ambassador for Chanel, which I thought was perfect because she's so pretty. Minji is so pretty. So for the longest time, she was a local ambassador. So um, her activities was for Chanel were actually limited to Korea. And then just before this entire mess started, she was promoted to a global ambassador. And Chanel actually announced it. They said, "We welcome our new global ambassador," and blah, blah, blah. And it's Minji. And then she shot her first campaign for them. And this is it. I think it's something for skin, something, whatever. Now, a lot of people are saying, no, she's still an ambassador because this specific campaign is still up. If you go to chanel.com, it's still there. You will still find it. But if you go and check their website, this was actually done 2024. So this campaign has been ready since 2024. So it's going to run until 2025. So it could be that they're allowing it to run. So that sure, the campaign is still in Chanel, but it is because the contract is still on. So they might keep this campaign until 2025. Who knows? But as of now, if you go into view the code of the site, you will see that this was actually built in 2025. All right, it's 2024. Now, another thing that came out last week was that the contract. So a lot of people are asking if they like, is it possible that Newjeans is just trying to run this to the ground, meaning they're just dragging this until their contract expires. Now, according to a lawyer in South Korea, it is possible that the contract gets extended um, to cover up, or to for the company, enough for the company to recover what they have lost. Meaning, if Newjeans is not doing any activity, any work for Hybe for a year, Hybe can act, or Adore can actually ask for the contract to be extended for another year, because that's what they lost during this lawsuit. So that is possible. It is not guaranteed, but if usually the companies would actually put that in the contract. So if that is in the agreement, that if there is any kind of disturbance to their work, like military service, long-term illnesses, or other force majeure reasons, then the contract automatically gets extended to allow the company to recover what they have lost. So if they've lost 1 year, then it'll get extended to another year. Usually it is built into the contract. If it is not built into the contract, then the company, the management company, can ask the court to extend the contract automatically. So is it possible that Newjeans thinks that it is going to just expire? Probably, but I'm sure that their law firm already explained to them this possibility, that this is a force majeure and it's going to either automatically extend your contract or they can ask the court to extend the contract. So if they are delaying it for that belief, then it's not a clear cut path for them. Force majeure is a legal term referring to unforeseeable events beyond a party's control that prevent them from fulfilling their contractual obligation. In other words, it's a get out of obligation clause, which is used when something extraordinary happens. So, for example, as I've said, somebody gets sick, and you can't work for a year, then the company is not earning money from you. Then the company will extend the contract. Usually it's built in, it's already in the contract, but that if there is a force majeure, they will automatically extend the contract. If it is not there, then they can ask the court to extend the contract for them to recover what they have lost. Okay, so that, I hope that answers your question. If the court or the agency, this is just an explanation, the court or the agency recognizes this as a suspension of obligation, the time during the legal dispute can be added back to the end of the contract. So right now, Newjeans is refusing to do any kind of work, new work, that is. So Adore is not actually earning any money. Then they can ask the court to extend the contract to cover the time when the group is not working. Okay. All right. Now, and that's not going to happen unless that's not going to happen if it is the agency's fault. Okay. Force majeure. I explained that. Okay. So now another thing that someone sent this to me. So, we've been talking about how great or how good, maybe not great, but how good, well, I'll say great, how good Min Hee-jin is as a creative director, right? She's really good at visuals, creative direction. Well, apparently, the creative director is actually still employed in Adore It, and it's not Min Hee-jin. It's actually Nayeon Kim Nayeon. So she's still in Adore, and she's primarily responsible for a lot of the visuals of Newjeans. So here are some of the things that she has done. So she's worked for Newjeans, she's worked for other companies, she's worked for SM Entertainment, and she still is right now still with Adore. She's still employed with Adore. So it's not entirely Min Hee-jin that is responsible for 100% of the look or the creative direction. She's certainly pitched in a considerable amount. So this is her Instagram. If you want to visit it, she's really pretty good. There's a certain eeriness in the way that she executes her concepts. So yeah, so these are some of her work and some of the artists that she has worked with. So she did come from SM Entertainment though. But ever since this was disclosed that this person, Nayeon Kim, is still with Adore, she started getting bombarded and harassed by fans of Newjeans. They've been calling her weak, a sellout, because she refuses to leave Adore. So, but it's quite a discovery because Min Hee-jin has always been hailed for her skill in the visuals of it. But it's not. I'm sure that a large part of it is still hers. Just want to make that clear. I'm sure still a large part of it is still hers because that's her signature. Like even when she was still working with SM Entertainment, when she worked with Girls' Generation, with FX, with Red Velvet, that's her visual, that's her aesthetic. So I'm sure that a huge part of it is still hers. But it is not just hers alone because Nayeon Kim is certainly contributing to it. Okay. Um, MHJ taking credit for other people's work, color me shocked. Yeah, I don't think I'm not saying that she has no contribution whatsoever. Just want to make it that clear. A huge part, I believe, a huge part of the aesthetics and the creative direction of Newjeans is still hers because that it's her signature. The look that is reminiscent of the look that Min Hee-jin executed and created for Girls' Generation, for Red Velvet, for FX. But also, let's remember that when it comes to music, a lot Attention, which was one of their biggest hits ever, that was actually in place before she even joined Source Music. So that wasn't her idea. That wasn't her direction. That song was already there before she joined. Okay, this is some more of what Nayeon Kim actually did. So if you want to look at her IG, that is her handle. Um, or you can just go to her website, nayeon-kim.com, and you will see a lot of her work. So a lot of people were surprised that she was still with Hybe or Adore, because everyone thought she was going to leave because of her very, very close relationship with Newjeans and with Min Heejin. But apparently she's still there. Okay, that is it for the Adore boy group audition trailer. Was really good creatively. I think she worked on it. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure she did. It was her. That was her. I'm pretty sure she did that. Yes. Unlike Big Hit, who show credits for most things. Yes, I agree. Actually, that's one of the things that I appreciate about Hybe and Big Hit. They actually show the names of the people that worked on a project is very much there. So it makes it easier for those people, right? It's good. I mean, being a creator myself, it makes it easier for me to get new gigs, new projects, because the name is very much visible. Okay. I'm looking forward to the new boy group of Big Hit, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. So I hope that they end up being good. I mean, they many of the members already have writing credits for other groups. And I mean, Big Hit has wasted no time in making that known, publicizing it, doing pre-marketing. So yeah, I think they are also confident about the creative, like the creation ability of the new members. Okay, we have 15 more minutes. Why should she leave? Exactly, right? Just want to share. So I was with Google. As you know, I have this thing with Google. I They invited us back into their Playa Vista center, their work area, not, not center, but their Playa Vista office. And it was beautiful. So, well, because it is bigger, it's actually more beautiful than, well, it's bigger. So there's like a lot more aesthetics that they can play with, more space that they can play with in that area. But it was like yeah, it was such a great experience to actually see this much publicized corporate culture of Google. So the unlimited breakfast and unlimited lunch is actually true. They are true. So they are. So you, I think from 7, I would want to say 7 until 10:30. I think is breakfast, and then around 11 is when lunch actually begins, and it's just free for everybody. Even if you're a visitor, you can actually get food. Because I don't eat until like 2 3 p.m., I didn't actually get to eat. But the people that I was with, they had a great time, and they said the food is great. Coffee is great though. So great that I actually asked if I can bring a cup on my way out. Because it was really good. So it was just like, so usually I eat like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, sometimes dinner, which was right around the time the meeting actually ended. So by the time I can eat, the meeting ends. So I was able to eat. But yeah, so she said, the person that's coordinating with us said like, oh, maybe let's next time, let's just do, because we started 8 a.m. And she said like, maybe next time we can just do the meeting, we can start the meeting lunchtime so you can eat. Somewhere in that you can eat. So it's a hangar, like they used to store planes in that area. So they maintained the flying theme. So there's in around the office, there's like, so like this thing that you see, like the green, red, and blue, this is the, I think, the pathway for the planes when it lands. So many of the offices and the nooks and the meeting areas and whatever, the theme is anything that's related to flying. So the office that we had, which I thought I actually put, but I didn't. But the office that we had a meeting with, the theme is Harry Potter, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a Slytherin. Um, so they're the actual books, like first what they call this, first print of Harry Potter. They had that, and then the broom was there, the different brooms from different houses, and then yeah, it was cool. And like the lights looked like lights, like candles that were floating in the grand dining area of Harry Potter. And then there was Back to the Future, anything that's related to Peter Pan. There's another meeting room that's themed Peter Pan, but the biggest one was the one that we had a meeting in, which was Harry Potter. So when you go in, you just follow that path. Basically, if you follow that path, you'll be able to do a 360. So you'll go back to where you started. And then, okay, then more pictures. I'll show you more pictures. At first, I wasn't taking pictures because in the entrance it says you can't take pictures, and then I think she noticed that I was taking pictures, and she said, "You don't have to hide it. You can take a picture." I said, "Oh, okay," but of course I can disclose why I was there. So this is like the entrance. So when you go in, this is their lobby basically. This is the lobby. When you go in, this is what you'll see. And then you go up there, and that's this is the middle. If you go much deeper into the office, they have like a goose park, so you can hang out here. You can, so it's, there are very few people who actually have their own office there. Most of them actually just choose, they take whatever like desk they want or whatever, or they can go to any place there. There are plenty of spaces where you can actually work. You can work in the kitchen if you want to just keep eating the entire day. and then and then this is one of the areas, like common areas where you can relax and whatever. There's also a game room, and there's also a music room. And the music room is like they have guitars, drums, and it is noise soundproof, so if you play, nobody can hear you from outside. They have a game room. You have a lot of games to play, like billiards, darts, and then there's like video games. I'm not sneaky. She saw me and she said I can just take a picture. And then there are meeting areas. So there's like small meeting areas, mini meeting areas where you can work or you can just relax. And these are two of the rooms. So cool, right? So this on the left is the 2D themed room. And then the other is like, I don't know, aquatic. I don't know what that is. Forest, maybe. So yeah, there's another room that you can either hang out in, or you can have if you have like a small meeting, you can do that there. Okay. And then if you want to take a private phone call, there are several rooms that you can use, a lot of rooms that you can use where it's also soundproof. And then you can bring your dog, which was I was happy to actually see a dog there. And they don't have to be a service dog. You can just bring a dog, doesn't matter. But this is part of the room where we're in. We had a meeting. So those are the rooms. And then there's like a story about the spruce goose or something. Yeah. So these are legit. The brooms are legit taken from the movie. So they bought it. So, and then they have an app where you can just point your phone at something and they will tell you where they bought it and how much. So I was pointing at things and just looking at where they bought the stuff that they had on the wall, the paintings. Yeah, it was a both a good and a depressing experience to know how much those things actually cost. So it was great. I mean, if you guys, the one thing I think the biggest advantage of, I'm trying to look for the photos, the biggest advantage of working there is that you have lunch and dinner, so you don't have to think about that. And she said, the person, the our main coordinator said that a lot of people actually started coming back to the office as soon as they opened because of the meals. And they also spend a whole lot of more time working because you have everything that you need there. There's also a massage area. There's you can there's a dog park, and it's a big one. And then you can, there's a dog sitting, not a dog sitting one, a babysitting service which is free for as long as you schedule. If you know that you're going to bring your kid there for the day, then you just schedule so that somebody's there to take care of your kid. And then yeah, you have all the, and then you can do your laundry in the office. They have a laundry area. It's also free. um what else do they have? They have a barber there, also free. uh hmm. Yeah. A lot of like and then oh yeah, you can borrow the car. They have a car there, several cars, electric. But if like if it's a short errand, you don't have to use the gas of your car. You can just use the car that they have there. You just of course have to return and make sure that it is charged. And many of them don't have a fixed time, so many of them is flexible. But because they have everything that they need in the office, they just come like very early and leave very late. So it's a good experience just to see. I've heard about it so many times before, and I used to work for a YouTuber before, so we were in the other side of that place because when you reach a certain number of subscribers, YouTube can actually give you free time in their studio. So for example, if you get like 100 subscribers, I think you get 1 day a month. You get to 500 or 250, you get 2 days, 500 3 days, blah blah blah. So you just need to schedule. So since the person that I used to work for, the YouTuber I used to work for, had by the time that I left, he had like 450 subscribers, 450,000 subscribers. We were in YouTube 3 days a month or 4 days in a month. So I was there a lot in the YouTube studio area, but that was my first time in the actual main office that they had. So if you ever get a chance to like apply, if you want to work, that would be a good option because they take care of a lot of your needs. So basically, um, there's a shower area. You can live in your car, basically. Okay, let me see if I can find some of the other pictures. Do you have questions? I just wanted to share it because it was so fun. See here. I thought I was able to pass. Like that's another. It's beautiful, right? Here. YouTube sent me a straw and tumbler the other day, and I was proud of that. Let me see if I can find another one. I'm trying to find like the. Um, so this is when you enter. There's like a huge staircase. Some people hang out there. It leads to the upper section is their sales department. That's their sales department. There's like 100 people there in their sales department. Okay, let me see if I can find them. Oh, here's another cool Google Street detail on their floor. See, I thought I took a cool picture of where we were. Apparently, no. And also, I thought I took a picture of their. Oh, I did. So here's the coffee area. So when we came in, this is just the center. So unlimited coffee, they're there the entire day and you can just order what you want. There's Americano, there's whatever coffee that you want, they'll make it for you. So it's in one so that's the big one, and then in every floor there are micro kitchens. Let's see. Are you enjoying this? Are you bored? Here, another look of that place like if you go in. So there are like tables. You can also work there. You can hang out there if you want. There. You okay. Here's the so the this is the place where we met, and you can see like the center looks like the grand hall of the Harry Potter dining area. So those lights actually look like they're floating. So that's where we met. And the chair was very comfortable. I wanted to sleep. Yeah. And then she was like, "Oh, you can stay if you want to work here for an hour or two. You can stay. Just let me know so I can lead you back out when you're done." I'm like, if I didn't have work, then I would have stayed. So that's half of my day today. It was a good experience, but I do encourage everybody, if you want to actually work, like if you want to apply, just go apply. They're gonna take care of a lot of your needs. Imagine you don't have to think about your lunch, breakfast, laundry. If you have a dog, you can bring the dog. Your child will have like So it's a good company if that is what you want in life, like that. If you like working for corporate, it's a good place to start. Okay, do you have questions before we have 2 minutes? Well, a minute actually before we go. Do you have questions? Fairlane, I can picture in my mind BTS doing Run BTS episode there. Oh my! If they do, they're going to have a lot of fun. The I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of fun in the game area. That the gaming area, that's a given. There's a lot of spots that they can play with. There's a lot, and even the dining area, it was huge, where you can actually where they actually serve lunch. It's in the middle of the entire office. It's like they said it is eight. The size is if you put eight football fields together. That's how big it is. I At first we were like, oh, you don't have to like guide us, we'll find our way. And one of our office mates decided, not office mates, but one of the people that I was that was there, they actually he went down to get coffee and he got lost. That's how big it is. He couldn't come back. It was like calling the coordinator. It's like, can you pick me up, I don't know where I am. But that's how big it is. But yeah, they're going to have a lot of fun. And then even the outside, it's good. The outside is also beautiful. You can also work outside. And as I've said, there is a dog park if you bring your dog. Laundry, just a good company if that is what you want in life. If you want something corporate, it's a good place where you can just come in and just, and then everything is taken care of. Okay, did you post about the Google? I can't exactly post. I will share some of the things that they shared that they don't mind sharing, so that I will post about. Yeah, I'll post about it, and then it's interesting. Basically, it's about AI. They called us in for AI. They wanted to discuss AI. I guess at the end of the day, and this is a good. I guess I'll close with this. This is a good way of understanding how these billionaires think. At the end of the day, it's about money for them, right? And they are aware that a lot of people are actually starting to use platforms and apps that isn't Google when it comes to their AI needs. And they wanted to make sure that they win this. They win the AI war. And the only way they can do that is if they serve people that are actually giving them money, and that those are advertisers. So they wanted to like create a program to make sure that whatever AI is doing serves the advertisers. So that gives you an idea. And they've already developed a lot, and I will share that with you because I'm sure that you're going to be able to use some of it. So I'll share that in my next live. A lot of those are actually very, very useful, but also it'll give you an idea on how much it can cut people from their employment. Because there's one thing there that I am starting to use that I'm realizing, oh my god, I can get rid of like two people. So I will share that in the next live. It's really interesting. Maybe I'm sure that if you are still working, studying, you have your own business, it will be of help to you. Okay, we are 2 hours and 2 minutes. I'll see you maybe this Friday. Who knows? Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for staying with me. Stay safe. And please, anybody that you see posting pictures that are not allowed to be posted of BTS, then just report them. Okay. Thank you. Bye.